Wow.
Boogaloo.
Films. Bad films. Lots of films. Very, very bad films. Films. Watch that film. Then talk about it. It's Electric Boogaloo with Matt and Keenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Electric Boogaloo, the show where we make bad films worse. I am the baseball flying at your neighbour's son's face, Matt Bradley.
I'm the reason why Sandra Bullock has both an Oscar and a Razzie. Keenan Groom. There you are.
It's good to be back.
It's very good to be back. It's very weird that this is the situation we're back, but if it means we're doing stuff, It's great.
Yeah, so for any first-time viewers or for viewers or listeners, we're doing this as a podcast and a recording. Woo! World's crazy.
Smellers.
Smellers?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the only sense that we haven't really
I
integrated.
mean, we're not going out and touching them, Keenan. Unless you've been doing something in your spare time.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks.
Yeah, and taste as well. We're not doing. We're only doing two senses, Keenan.
Just in case smell-o-vision is a thing soon.
Anyway, for anyone returning or coming back in the first place, we are Matt and Keenan. We host the show. We did it on the radio for a while, and then our show is all about taking a terrible film, watching it, and then coming up with an even worse idea for a film afterwards.
Yeah.
And the reason we've been for so long is we've been in prison in Canada.
Yeah. So I chopped down a sacred maple tree, and the Mounties didn't like it.
Yeah, and then I punched a Mountie because I just don't like the hats. So they threw us in moose jail, where we've been since our last episode, which was like sometime in 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Time is weird in moose jail. All you hear is moose, which is the noise they make. They're like Pokemon. But we broke out. We tunneled out. You know, in like Shawshank, when he tunnels out with the little mining hammer thing. Instead of using that, I just used Keenan's head. Just whacked it against the wall.
It's very spadoid.
Spadoid. That's a word.
That's a word.
So he broke out, and the moose warden is looking for us, but he can't get to us because social distancing.
Yeah, so there's a moose outside right now, but he can't come within 6 feet of me, so he's there just angrily mooing at me. So if you hear any mooing or cars, it's the moose in his buggy.
Yeah, because the three noises mooses make are moo, moose, and the sound of a car driving past a window.
Yeah.
And there's a moose outside my door as well, but he can't get through just because his antlers are in the way.
Right, okay.
It's like a fast. Every time I open the door, I see him like, and then I was like, nah, I'm all right.
I think this is effectively justified why we haven't done this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than.
I think that's a good enough reason, and everyone should accept it.
On with this, then, I suppose.
Yeah. So this week on Electric Boogaloo, for our grand return, we watched a little film called Freddy Got Fingered.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a decision that we made.
I think it was a decision that the makers of the film made as well. It was a very questionable decision.
Yeah, like the existence of this film is a choice.
Yeah, it was came out in 2001, and it hasn't aged well at all. I think in 2001.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't think it was good when it came out, to be fair.
Yeah.
So shall we have a little... Oh,
no, I was just going to say, I can't think of anything to say. I'm so speechless about it. I think I'm just going to make noises throughout because of what it is.
Pretty valid. I mean, we watched this film together using the new technologies that have become available to us in these weird times. To be fair, Zoom might have existed before this, but it's famous now. Other video conferencing things are available, but we're not sponsored by Zoom anyway, so who cares? Anyway, so we watched this together, and generally through our reaction was just, what?
Yeah.
What? And what?
There was a lot of what's.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very
I think
bizarre film.
at times we could hear each other over the film. At times we couldn't, so we'd send messages. Looking back at my messages with Keenan, I have this has a decent soundtrack. Shame about everything else. This is truly, truly terrible. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm so very, very scared. That kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, see if I sent any weird things to you. I think the supporting cast and extras might be okay. That opinion changed very quickly.
Yeah.
And then you got angry at me for saying I picked the film. And I said the world picked it because they greenlit it. So don't blame me, blame the world.
Yeah, and I think we have to blame the world for a lot of the films we watch here.
Yeah.
But we still make our decision to watch them.
There's one thing that we're going to try and introduce in Boogaloo Weekly.
Oh, yes.
As a little segment is other countries' cinema snacks, because we come from a very Western world of your popcorn, your chocolate, like in England, in America, places like that. But there's other countries that have some different ideas in cinema snacks. I'm going to see if you can guess what it is, Matt, with some clues.
Okay.
So this week, our cinema snack comes from Colombia, and it's known as hormiga culona in its native language. I probably haven't pronounced that right. Bear with me. It is eaten like a peanut would be for us. So eaten like peanuts, so it's in a little bag and you nibble on them. And it's also considered an aphrodisiac. What are they eating in Colombia?
I think I have an idea of what this is, and I hope this doesn't end up being offensive. But I'm going to say that it's like crickets or something.
It's roasted ants.
I thought so. Because like they're eating them like peanuts. That's like a thing, right?
Yeah, so they roast ants and then put some seasoning on it and just put it in a little bag.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work out what part of it is aphrodisiac. I suppose something in there. Well, they don't have a stinger, as it were, but something in there. The abdomen.
No,
of
it's
the
just
ant.
that everyone who says that eating ants is an aphrodisiac has like a weird kink for ant eating.
Right. So it's an aphrodisiac.
Like you know how.
Yeah.
Like you know how like you have furries. Mm-hmm. These guys are all anteater furries. Right. They go to the conventions and have the long noses.
So if they eat an ant, it's like, wow, gotta get some of those.
Living the dream.
But yeah, there you go. Cinema snack number 1 for us. So if we were to go and see Freddy Got Fingered in Colombia, we would be eating some roasted ants.
And getting really horny about it.
There you go. That is cinema snacks of the world. That's not going to be the jingle. It's no. Oh, no.
Come up with something better.
Yeah, I'll try.
So okay, let's talk about the film then.
Yes.
I think we've put it off long enough.
Yeah.
So the film is about a guy called Gordon,
like the squash.
Yeah, Gord is played by Tom Green, who also directed the film and I think wrote it.
Yeah.
This is his The Room, essentially, which is an apt comparison because they're both very bad. I like The Room better than this.
Yeah, I was going to say The Room's definitely better because it's not trying to be a comedy.
Yeah, like The Room, it's lovable in how terrible it is. Yeah. This is appalling in so many ways. Anyway, so Gord, I guess, he is an unemployed cartoonist who wants to make it big in Hollywood, and he's going there to live his dreams, and that's what the movie's about, kind of.
That's what it's supposed to be about.
It mainly just evolves into weird sketches and gross out humor and horrible, terrible things.
Yes, I'd like to note that this film is penned as a self-aware film. So technically the jokes they're doing deliberately trying to be ironic, but even still.
like they're
Yeah.
self-aware, but it's still badly written.
Exactly. There's some self-aware stuff. 'Cause I used it as a reference yesterday's movie 43. It's a really bad film, but it's deliberately written to be bad, and they've got good actors in it, and they act badly. Like they act badly well, sorry, so they deliberately act badly, but since they know what they're doing, it is good. If that makes any sense.
Movie 43 is still like actively terrible, though, right?
Yeah, but I think it's more self-aware terrible than this, where it's just terrible.
I still haven't seen movie 43. I'm sure it's one we'll get to eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving back to this nightmare. So he's driving down to Los Angeles. He's going to live his dream. They're in Oregon, I think. No, they're in Portland because they show him driving from Portland to Oregon like 4 times in the movie, and have the same
in Portland,
like
in Oregon.
driving. Yes, it's the capital, I think.
Yeah, so he sort of just drove around Portland and then Hollywood.
Yeah,
and then back again,
like 4 times. And it's the same like map driving effect every single time. So he drives there, and on his way, he does stop to go wank up a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well get that out of the way. This film has a lot of animal abuse in it.
Yeah, you can't really put it any more family friendly than that. He literally just was driving down the road. He sees a farm where I'm assuming it's farmers collecting horse semen.
Yeah,
as you do,
and
then he decides
you get a long shot of the horse penis.
Yeah.
It's like a solid 10-second shot that is literally just, here is a horse's penis.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably a fake one, but it's there.
Yeah.
And then he grabs it and plays with it for a bit, and that's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
That's a decision they made. And it's one that comes back later on, but we'll get to that.
Isn't that preceded by just some screams as well?
Probably.
Because I think
a lot of this movie is just him screaming.
Because Rip Torn is in this film. I've only seen him in one other film, being Dodgeball.
He's good in Dodgeball.
He is good in Dodgeball, and I think he's one of the best out of the worst situation in this.
We should say rest in peace, Rip Torn. I'm sorry, this is your legacy.
Yeah, Dodgeball could be your legacy. He's probably done better films, but I've only seen him.
Yeah, I'll check his filmography. You talk about Rip Torn for a second.
But he just has a tendency of like screaming in these scenes. He's he's deliberately given a lot of anger issues, but he just ends scenes. It's a very loose comparison, but there's that video of the cowboys screaming different notes in the mountains. I don't know if people have seen that internet video.
Yeah,
it's just that because they zoom out on Rip Torn and they just fade him into the next scene, so you just for a split second see his screaming face before the next scene, and that is what leads into the horse.
Yeah, so as well as a lot of like, just going back to Rip Torn for a second, a lot of like the classic stuff. Right. He's been in a lot of films that I haven't necessarily heard of, but based on the titles, seem good. Like Sweet Bird of Youth, Heroes Island, The Cincinnati Kid. I don't know. These sound like good movies. He was also Zed in Men in Black.
Of course he was.
Which is where I know him from.
Yes, I forgot he was in that. There you go. That's
he's great in those movies.
Yeah, I like Men in Black.
And then he's also the dad in this. So, can't win them all.
Yeah. I was like looking down at my notes of this film because I took notes chronologically.
Sorry, one last thing that Rip Torn did. He was Zeus in Hercules, the Disney movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, the voice of it?
Yeah.
There you go then. He has done some good things, and he's also done this.
Yeah.
Yes, my chronology of this is why buy him a bus ticket if you're going to give him a car? Is the first thing I put. So they surprise Gord with a new car so he can go to Hollywood and pursue his dreams. And apparently he's the favourite son, so he gets given a new car. But they also buy him a bus ticket to not spoil the surprise.
Which seems wasteful, but okay.
Yeah. And then he proceeds to say, I'm going to make you proud, Daddy, which I think is a very questionable choice of words. And then from there
And
it
he
goes...
says it like 4 times.
Yeah. And that's when you get the scream, and then it goes to the horse scene. So, what? That's the first 5 minutes of the film?
Yeah. And then he's in Hollywood. He works at a cheese sandwich factory, which is quite a good bit, I'll admit.
That is quite funny, yeah.
And he just does like a bunch of stupid stuff in the factory. Like he's like throwing stuff around. He pretends like a big thing of salami is his penis, which is a weird thing to have in a cheese factory anyway.
Yeah.
But that scene did get to me though, because he's like on the conveyor belt, like trying to whack people with his salami penis. Yeah. And none of the workers react to him at all.
Yeah, that's what
keep working.
That's pretty why I put about the it's why I probably put about the extras being good, because things like that, the fact is they're not trying to up the ante of the comedy and they're just playing it quite straight. It's good. They're doing quite well.
This film would have been better with more. This is a thing I wouldn't say normally. This would have been better with more straight people. He needed some straight men to play off of. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It was too zany, we're so high stakes. Wow, you need some troughs as well as peaks.
Yeah.
Not to say the peaks were particularly high, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I very angrily wrote in capital letters. I've got 2 descriptions of Tom Green's appearance.
Okay.
So I thought during the film that he looks like either a tall Richard Hammond or Tony Hawk with a goatee.
Okay.
So he looks like Tom.
I kind of see that one, but like, I like Tony Hawk too much to compare them.
Yeah. And then I also put further down, his neck is as wide as his head and he has no chin. He's just Earthworm Jim.
He's Earthworm Jim.
I was really passionate about the fact that he just went straight down.
Yeah, he was a weird kind of like lanky, gangly freak of a man.
He looked too tall. This is why I think he looked like a tall man. Like if he was a bit smaller, he could have fit his body part.
I mean, to be fair, he can't help that.
No, not at all.
But...
He can help his well, it was in the 90s, so 2001, sorry. I did put about the haircuts and stuff, but I feel it was of the time.
Even so,
Yeah.
Anyway, he like torments a CEO of an animation company with his terrible drawings.
Called Dave Davidson.
Dave Davidson, original name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Anthony Michael Hall. He's done good movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here
Breakfast Club
that have done good movies, and then this has sort of just ruined their career for a while.
I say, Anthony Michael Hall's receptionist was Drew Barrymore, who was like dating or engaged to Tom Green at this point.
Choices.
Have you ever wanted to see just a little bit better than you could before, but glasses don't work for you, and contact lenses don't work for you, and laser vision doesn't work for you? Well, do I have the product for you? It's called Eye Magic Cream. Why don't you tell them what it does, Keenan?
Eye Magic Cream goes in your eyes and, like an injection, goes through your whole body and changes the way you see things. You think it makes you look and see better, but no. What it does is it blurs the bad things. So, don't like shoes, you can't see them on people's feet. Problem is, though, you hate a lot of things, you might walk into a road.
Now, you may be wondering how the Eye Magic Cream makes you able to blur out things like this. What it does is it goes through your body, as my colleague said here, and every single nerve gets a tiny little eyeball attached to it. And all these tiny little eyeballs are like, don't like that. So if you want to buy Eye Magic Cream, just go to www.google.com and put in our promo code Boogaloo, and you'll receive 3 crates of Eye Magic Cream for just £1,000 of cream.
Eye Magic Cream, the vision of your dreams.
after that, it's just a series of misadventures until you get to the ending. Like,
Yeah.
you can talk about specific plot points, like he gets a job at a second sandwich shop for a bit.
That was a funny scene. I'll give you that. That was a funny scene.
Yeah, because a customer walks up and is like, "There's barely any cheese in my cheese sandwich," and so he like puts like entire blocks of cheese on the sandwich and
Yeah.
just shoves it in his face. And the customer's like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this?" He's like, "You could stick it up your bum bum." And I enjoy when people call an arse a bum bum. Like, it gets to me.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, there's some random scenes. There's one where he speaks to Dave Davison. He says something about being the animals, and then he finds a roadkill deer on the side of the road. Then he cuts the deer open. Where's the deer? Then he gets hit by a truck, and then he just gets up and says, "That was fun," and then he eats a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, he eats like a bunch of sandwiches.
Yeah, that happens.
I'll get back to that, but the deer scene is terrible because it's again him like abusing an animal. You get a very graphic shot of him like pulling the guts out of the deer, and it's quite horrible. But then when he gets hit by the truck, it's funny because
So
you hate this
funny.
guy and you enjoy seeing him get hit by a truck.
Because that's what you were saying when we were watching it, where you should take, regardless of whether they do good deeds, you should always want to support the protagonist.
Yes.
Like, even if they're an anti-hero, say it was Venom or like a Loki character or a thief or something.
Just take another comedy, for example. Like Anchorman is my example.
Yes,
Ron Burgundy is a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
But you enjoy him, and he's likable, and he's charismatic. So you still root for him to do these terrible things in a way.
Yeah.
Gordon Brody is unlikable in the extreme. He does terrible things, and you don't enjoy him. So you're just thinking, God, I hope he gets hit by a truck. And then he does, and that's fun.
Yeah, I think you want to support the other characters, like Freddy, who's the titular character, but he's in it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he's the one you'd want to root for the most.
Yeah. And then when bad things happen to Freddy, I'm just like, oh, he didn't deserve this.
Exactly. But if that happened to Gord, I'd be up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, the title of the film, Freddy Got Fingered, doesn't come in until about an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
And then is about 2 minutes of jokes, and then you're done. Essentially, Gordy and his parents go to like group therapy. Family therapy is what I mean. And they're like having a discussion about like Gordy being useless and the dad being a dick, and eventually Gordy accuses the dad of fingering his little brother, who is 25, I think.
Yeah, because that's one of the things he says.
Okay.
Sorry, he's like, when he goes to get, when the police and the council come around, he's like, well, no, I'm not a child, because they ask where little Freddy is. He's like, I'm 25.
Yeah.
So, like,
so Freddy gets taken to the like school for sexually molested children.
Yeah.
And is the only adult there. And he's just there for the rest of the movie and doesn't do anything.
No.
There's no jokes made. It's useless.
I think he just wanted.
Why is it the title of the movie?
I think that's just what he wanted. He's wanted that title, and then how am I gonna make? He just thought, oh, this is a funny title. How am I gonna incorporate it? And he didn't want to, but then felt like he had to. There's so much and so little to say about this film.
Yeah, like we could talk about specific scenes till the cows come home or the moose get in, but talking about the like whole plot of the movie, it makes no sense.
Well, no, because when Freddy gets taken to the care home, as it were, he just sits down with 15 children, 10 and under, and they're just watching people perform surgery.
Yeah, no, he's watching people perform surgery.
He's watching it. Yeah, sorry.
But then, at the school for the like molested children, they're watching a snuff film. They're watching a woman be hanged. What was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know.
So many things that could have been explored into like solid jokes that are just throwaway things that make no sense and just make you angry.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk about? Gordy gets a girlfriend.
Yeah, the girlfriend,
who
definitely.
is bizarre.
Yeah.
So my main takeaway from this film, like the positive I can say about it, is I was expecting the portrayal of the disabled girlfriend to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
It still wasn't great, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, because I've got written down here, the first scene we see with him meeting the girlfriend, he's taped an umbilical cord to himself.
Yeah. Well, that's after it's weird because that's following a weird joke in the umbilical cord in the previous scene.
Yeah, but
well.
he was stating that it was his. Because obviously the scene what it is beforehand to give
Yeah.
some context, even though there's not much. He delivers a baby, but then the baby's not breathing, so he swings the baby around by the umbilical cord and it wakes the baby up. Then he bites the umbilical cord loose because there's no way of cutting it apart from with his teeth.
Yeah. This is all while he's pretending to be a doctor because, of course, he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, scene following that, completely unrelated scene. He's he's with his girlfriend. He's just caned her paralyzed legs that she's horny for.
She works at the hospital, doesn't she?
She works at the hospital.
Yeah.
Sure. He canes her legs, which she can't feel, but also can. It's weird. It's bad. And she's like a sadomasochist, and then she wants to give him a blowjob. And then when she pulls her shirt up, he reveals, "Oh, I taped my umbilical cord back to myself."
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the joke.
So it's sort of like he delivered a baby and got some weird broodiness from that he's like, oh, I wish I had my umbilical cord again.
No, I think it's like he did that when he was a kid, and that's just always been there. Is I think the implication
that he's always had his umbilical cord on him.
Yeah, that he they kept the umbilical cord from the hospital. He got hold of it and taped it to himself
for 20
and has always had it there.
For like 30
is I think
years.
The implication.
So I can't believe I forgot how old he was. He says about 25 times that I'm 28. So he's 28.
He's 28.
So he's had that umbilical cord strapped to him for 28 years.
Something like that.
And then it's taken off and not mentioned again.
Yeah. But that's a lot of this movie. It's just stuff that comes up and doesn't get mentioned again.
There wasn't a recurring character that was good, though, was the small child.
Yeah, so the neighbor's son is funny because he keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
It's the one joke that consistently works in this movie is someone will injure this child. Not in a serious way for the most part. But it shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Yeah. Because what was the first one he gets?
Freddy arrives, and then the kid runs into the car door, and breaks his nose.
He runs into
and then later on, they're in a restaurant, and Gordy and his dad get into a fight, and the dad throws a bottle and misses, and it hits the kid in the face.
Knocks his tooth out.
That got under the laugh out of me. Yeah. And then later on, Gordy's doing... No, I think it's the dad breaking the half pipe.
Yes. Yeah.
And the kid's dad is so surprised, he throws a baseball that is kid-looking, and the baseball wangs him in the face. And if they'd left it at that, it would have been perfect. And then they ruin it in the ending. Because there's a helicopter, and the kid walks into the blade and explodes, and then says, I'm all right, and it's not funny.
Yeah, the context of that is Gordy gets $1 million for selling his comic, and then to get back at his dad, he takes the part of his dad's house that contains his bedroom and goes to Pakistan with it.
Yep.
And then they kidnapped.
Then we see the return of our favourite joke from the opening.
Yes.
The wanking off the horse. But this time it's an elephant.
Yep.
And this time the elephant jizzes, and it's a hose effect that sprays down the dad with elephant semen.
Yeah, and then they get kidnapped, and then they get rescued, and then when they're back, they have a return party, as it were, and then that's when the kid gets hit by the blades.
It is a movie that exists. This is the thing we watched with our human eyes yesterday.
Because we usually like to watch the world's worst films, and a lot of them are like so bad they're funny. This one was just like, what?
Really bad.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one for us to come back on.
Yeah.
Because it is maybe the worst film I've ever watched.
Yeah.
But honestly, cooling down from watching it, I don't know if I hate it more than Food Fight or not.
Right. I might have to watch Food Fight again.
Like, I'm not going to. You can feel free. Because like this, at least it had the running joke where the kid got injured. Food Fight was just. See, we spoke earlier about how we're not like affecting other people's senses other than sight and sound.
Yeah.
Food Fight, I think, affected me like in taste because it kept making me throw up in my mouth.
You couldn't taste for a month afterwards.
Yeah, just like visually to look at that film made me sick.
So I've written down some quotes from the film.
Go ahead.
And out of context, they're still just as weird. So obviously we've had the "I'm going to make you proud, Daddy," which he says, and then he tries to see the CEO, the manager of this animation business, media business,
Dave Davidson.
Dave Davidson, and he's in just in a cafe having some lunch, and then he dresses up as an English policeman, like a very stereotypical Bobby, and he goes around every table going, "Are you Dave Davidson?" And some of the responses were, "No, I'm Peter," was one of them. And the other one was, "No, I'm a woman."
Yeah, and his response is, "Did I ask if you were a woman? No, I asked if you were Dave Davidson. Are you Dave Davidson?" She says, "No." He's like, well, okay then.
Yeah. And then I've put, when he first meets, is it Betty? Whatever his girlfriend's name is.
Yeah.
She's laughing at something, and he says, "Is it always this fun?" And then she responds with, "No, sometimes people die of cancer."
Yeah.
Which the more you think about it, it's quite stupid, but I can't not laugh at it.
It's almost a joke.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with a lot of this film, is there are a lot of almost jokes.
What else have I got?
Like there's a bit when he's working at the sandwich shop, and he's like cleaning tables, and he just goes with a mop, and just knocks all the stuff off all the tables.
Yeah.
And like, if they'd done that right, it would have been really funny, but it just isn't.
I've written down about the cheese and the bum that you said in the sandwich shop. And then he just, every now and then, he states that he's 28 all the time, and they're sitting having a family meal. Then he gets really angry about not wanting the beef because apparently his parents always make beef. And then he angrily then throughout the movie just says, "I want to eat chicken burgers." Sorry. So he just keeps stating that he wants to eat chicken burgers.
Yeah.
Is that when the kid gets hit? What happens then? Because the dad takes the chicken burger and he lobs it. I can't remember what happens. Does it break a window?
He throws it to the dogs.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, throws it to the dogs.
Yeah. Again, not much of a joke, really.
No.
I think I need to stop talking about the plot of this movie because it's driving me. I hated it.
Yeah.
I really hated it. In the end, they get back from Pakistan, and Gordy's like put in a car, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. With these things, we usually say these films are so bad, go and watch them because it's funny. But don't watch this film.
I can't recommend this.
No, don't watch this film.
Yeah. Just watch Stuff Where Mum Will Shoot. I will never stop recommending that movie.
Yeah. It got 5 wins and 3 nominations at the Razzies. And
that's one thing I can talk about in Tom Green's favour. Tom Green, the writer, actor, director. He showed up to collect at the Razzies. He was the first actor to do that, second recipient after the guy who did Showgirls. And he claimed his awards and said, "Yeah, this is what we wanted all along." Which, was it? And then he played the harmonica until he got forced off stage, which I can respect that. That's funny.
Quite funny.
Where was that in your movie, Tom? Where was that funny?
I've also just put the words piano, sausage, and drawing because he was told to do all three things at once.
Yes, he's playing the piano, eating, and drawing.
Yeah, because he can't.
He told him to.
Yeah, so he's trying to get the he's got writer's block for his cartoons, and she said, while you're drawing, how about you play music and eat to take your mind off it. And he takes it literally by playing music, as in the piano, and eating sausages which are dangling from the ceiling while trying to draw.
And then his dad comes home like shocked at like what he's seeing. And Gordy keeps saying, "Would you like some sausages, Daddy? Would you like some sausages, Daddy?"
Yeah.
Which again, almost so funny.
Yeah.
This film is wasted potential.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's one thing here. 2005, it got nominated for the worst comedy of our first 25 years. So the first 25 years of the Razzies, it was nominated for the worst comedy of all those years.
What won?
I don't know what won. I'll have a look while you're chatting what won, but it's got to be something worse than that.
You have a look at that, and then we'll see if like we've seen that movie or not. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to hate in this movie. The scene where he shows off his animation for the first time, like he makes a cartoon called Zebras in America, which is about his family as zebra centaurs, and it's so unfunny, unsurprisingly. The entire joke is just like the gaudy zebra keeps like doing tap dancing and going, "Listen to my hooves, aren't they funny? Ha 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 ha."
Yeah.
Tap, 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 tap. And it was just really annoying and badly animated, which was a weird thing for a movie about animation.
And
then there's like a really...
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Jiggly from 2003.
Oh, yeah. That's and it's the Ben Affleck and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I need
Not
to watch
Jennifer
that.
Aniston, Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
It's the one with the famous scene where she's lying on the bed and she's like, "It's turkey time." She spreads her legs and goes, "Gobble gobble."
Yeah.
Which, oof.
Catwoman got the worst picture of that year. Arnie got the most nominations in the 25 years.
Yep. Yeah. One last thing I want to talk about in the plot of this movie. Shaq shows up.
Yeah.
For one scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say. Yeah. Shaq.
His mum leaves his dad to be with Shaq for a night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So my review of Freddy Got Fingered is no stars. It's 0 finger out of 1.
I don't think it even deserves the word stars in its title. So what's the worst shape?
Nonagon.
Yeah. 0 nonagons out of 0.
Oh no, that's a perfect score.
0 nonagons out of 250,000 stars. And 1 perfect. Diamond. There you go. That's my rating.
I give it no fingers out of 1. So another new segment we've been looking to introduce into Electric Boogaloo is I want to slow things down a little bit and let us think about philosophy, or as I like to call it, filmosophy.
I like that. That's great.
So I've just taken some quotes from a random director. This week I've gone with Tom Green for no reason at all.
Very random, actually. I'm proud of you.
I just want to inspire you with some quotes by Mr. Tom Green. Mm-hmm. So, we all borrow and steal and copy from each other. And that's the way I think people get inspired. And I think we can think about that and reflect on it and learn a little something about ourselves. Wow. Let me follow you up with a second quote by Mr. Tom Green. I'll be straight with you. It's not easy to sell tickets in Vegas. I'm up against Celine Dion and Britney Spears. And I think we can learn a lot from that. You know?
Mm.
There's something to know there.
Yeah.
Because aren't we all, in a way, unable to sell tickets against Celine Dion and Britney Spears? I know I am from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, especially in Vegas. Here in Bournemouth, maybe.
That's where we are. Bournemouth? our famous recording studio in Bournemouth.
Shh, they don't know.
Coming to you live from Bournemouth, it's Electric Boogaloo. I think that's the title of the episode, Live from Bournemouth. And then a final, getting relaxed, clear your mind, Filmosophy. A final quote from today by Mr. Tom Green.
Yes.
Everyone knows that senior citizens are stupid. And I try to live by that. Especially in these trying times, we all need to remember this. Everyone knows that senior citizens are stupid. Tom Green. Namaste.
What is this man?
I know, yeah. I don't know what to talk about with him. He's had a weird life. He beat cancer. That's something.
And then he made a joke about it.
Yeah. I don't know if he'd done it by this point. I'll look that up, actually.
Yeah, good for him for doing that. And apparently his sketch show did all right.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why he got to make this movie.
Yeah, but I think
his sketch show was so famous.
sketch is 5 minutes tops, and they keep changing. But this is like the same. If he made like a sketch film somehow, but he tried to keep the same narrative, didn't he? Excuse the squeaky chair.
Where is this? Sorry, this is just me reading on my phone. Keenan, found.
Do you want to hear a review?
Yes, please.
This is a user review from IMDb. You got 1 star, and it says the title is "Don't Stop, Tom. Don't stop." Basically, he's just accentuating how to say the words "don't" and "stop."
I like that.
Yeah, some of it is just like, oh yeah, if the approach had worked, it'd have been good. So I think he said like the self-aware type film would have been good, but the approach to it was really bad. Everything thrown at the screen at once didn't really help because he tried to do too much in one film.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, he's like, maybe someone owed Tom Green a favor. Maybe someone blackmailed Rip Torn and Eddie K. Thomas. Maybe someone should explain the mental state of the executives that okayed this. I did laugh once or twice, but it was accidental, a mistake. 1 out of 10, and that's because I'm feeling very generous.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, very true.
I found out he beat cancer in 2000. And this film came out in 2001.
While he was making this film. While he was making this film?
I think this film didn't take too long to make.
Right.
I know movies usually take like a long time and a lot of production to make. I think this was a rush job.
There was some deleted scenes from this film.
Okay, hit me with it.
Which is even more random stuff. So when Gordon's in the helicopter, he drops his father's boat into a giant wood chipper. Yep.
Okay. When does his father have a boat?
The boat is not seen in the film at all.
Of course.
Yeah. When he cuts open the deer's stomach, he plays the intestines for a bit.
Oh, of course.
After Gord makes off with the horse, he runs over a cow and milks on his face. So
I'm glad these were deleted.
So preceding the horse, So after the horse scene, yeah.
To be fair, which horse scene? Because there are 2. The first one where he
him on the horse.
Yeah. The second one, he drives by the same farm, sees the horse like mounted to the horse, and he eats like 5 sandwiches and laughs. It was really weird. I'm very glad these scenes were deleted because they would have made the movie longer, and I couldn't have bared that.
Yeah, the others are just weird.
I remember we were about like half an hour into the movie, and I was like, "Oh, I'll check how long we've been." I thought we were maybe an hour through, And I looked, it was half an hour, and I thought, oh, Jesus, God, no.
Yeah, it drags.
Mm.
Definitely. Because a lot of comedy films are really short and
I mean,
they are quite quick.
This was only an hour and a half. It just felt like a full day.
Yeah, but I've definitely watched some comedy films and feel like I've just watched an episode of TV because it goes really quick. But that's the sign of a good comedy film because you're laughing through it all.
Share this one, really.
Let's see if we can do any better, shall we?
So the main thing we like to do on this show is we like to try and make our own bad movie based on the one we saw. We like to take a bad film and make it worse. This is going to be a struggle to do worse. We'll have a go.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to, rather than try and make the film worse, we're going to have to make a similar film.
I think the idea we were throwing back and forth was like, what if it's the like insane brainchild, terrible decision movie of another like comedian or actor or something?
Yeah.
So I'd like to throw this idea out to you.
Okay.
Is what would Pete Davidson's version of Freddy Got Fingered be?
Oh no.
Because that's another comedian who's kind of off the deep end in a lot of ways. So the film starts with him, like he gets same as this one. He has a famous dad who's let's say Steve Buscemi. Because I could see Steve Buscemi as Pete Davidson's dad in real life.
They've got similar eyes.
Yeah, similar weird energies.
Mm.
So Steve Buscemi gives a car to his son, Pete Davidson, who's playing Blordy Bartonson or some other stupid name.
Yeah.
But instead of driving by a farmer wanking off a horse, he just drives like up a ramp and through a billboard of Ariana Grande's face.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems like something he would do.
Yeah.
And so he's driving down to Hollywood, and instead of becoming an animator, he wants to become. It's going to be something else in the industry, but it can't be comedian. He wants to be a lighting technician.
Okay.
And so he has a folder that's just a bunch of drawings of lights in them. And he goes to find the he goes. It can't be Dave Davidson because it's Pete Davidson playing Floor or whatever I said his name was. So he goes and finds the head of the lighting company, which is Peter Peterson. Perfect. And Peter Peterson is played by James Jameson. Yeah, James Jameson played by James Franco.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows off this like folder of light drawings of James Jameson, James Franco, and James Franco just punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. There's a 5-minute shot that's just him punching Pete Davidson in the face.
Oh, is that the end of
to Pete Davidson?
Is that the end of the film?
Yeah. That's the trailer. Okay. It's just that.
All right, so we're mapping out our trailer. We'll do that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's the full trailer. It's just the punching in the face scene.
Okay. Is there anything else that happens in the film?
The movie continues from there, yes.
Right.
It needs to just be him getting into a lot of misadventures.
Okay.
In a similar way to Tom Green's character.
Yeah. So for mine's actually a very well-established British cast. Very old school names, very respectable actors. They all seem to have hit a crisis that they've agreed to do Kenneth Branagh's film where he has surgery to become William Shakespeare.
Okay,
so
forget Pete Davidson gets punched in the face. This is a much better idea. Let's roll with it.
Kenneth Branagh's playing himself. So all of these people are playing themselves.
Right.
And he
kind of like This Is the End. Is that the
yes, yeah,
Seth Rogen apocalypse movie where they're all playing themselves? Yeah.
Yeah. So he has surgery to become William Shakespeare. He changes his name. The surgery's not very good.
He still looks like Kenneth Branagh.
But it's like the opposite of Captain America, where Captain America's frozen for 70 years. he goes back in
Does he go back in time?
and
This is a time travel movie, okay.
and then the time machine lands on top of Shakespeare.
Okay.
Now he is Shakespeare, but all of his friends were in the time machine as well. So we have Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, and let's do some more modern versions of who will be like them when they're older. So David Tennant, Tom Hiddleston, and Benedict Cumberbatch. They're the like the three stooges of this film. And then they just do various things because they don't.
Can I just, for diversity's sake, can we swap one of the young British men with like another female actor? Can we swap Benedict Cumberbatch for Olivia Colman?
This is the problem with this film, is that the only woman in it is Judi Dench.
Okay. No, none of the extras or anything are women.
No, that's the problem.
Okay, all right, this is funny.
The only person is Judi Dench because we're in Shakespeare in England, and she is Anne Hathaway is Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah.
But can I make a suggestion? When they go back in time, because there were no female actors in Shakespeare in England,
all the females died.
In a dress playing Judi Dench.
So Judi Dench Judi Dench is played by
Danny Dyer.
No, it has to be Timothy Spall.
Timothy Spall, I'll take Timothy Spall.
But Judi Dench is in the film.
Judi Dench is in the film in the modern section.
Yeah.
But when they get in the time machine and when they go back to Shakespeare in England, she's now played by Timothy Spall in a dress, and it's never explained.
But only Kenneth Branagh understands where they are, and he is William Shakespeare, but everyone else is themselves in this time with modern ways of speaking and acting, and they dress. They've just got to live their lives.
They just try and return to being actors, and everyone's like, "Why do you talk like that?"
Yeah, that's my film.
Ye verily, why do you talk like that?
That's my film. What's your film called?
My film is called Michael Got Slapped Repeatedly. There's no character called Michael in the film. It's close enough. What's yours called?
You, Me, and Judy.
So I need to know more about You, Me, and Judy. Like, what happens when they go back into, like, what are the misadventures they go on in Shakespeare in England?
They witness a robbery.
Okay.
This is Benedict, Tom Hiddleston, and David Tennant. They witness a robbery. But since they're from the modern time, they understand the concept of law a little bit better, so they make their own detective agency. Okay.
This Benedict Cumberbatch is not allowed to be the Sherlock Holmes, though.
No, he's not.
He's desperate to be the Sherlock Holmes, and the other two will not let him.
So he tries to solve everything, but Tom Hiddleston is smarter and quicker, so he solves everything, and then Benedict gets really angry about it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh well, fine, I'll be the Watson then." And then David Tennant's like, "Well, no, I'm a doctor."
Yeah,
so.
And then Benedict's the
Mrs. Hudson.
Mrs. Hudson, yeah.
Yeah, he's just stuck making the tea, and he's very angry about it.
And then Timothy Spall,
as Judi
Dench, just wanders around and does different things. And then Anne Hathaway is herself, but she thinks she's herself, but Kenneth Branagh thinks she's Shakespeare's wife, Anne Hathaway. Okay. And then there's a lot of confusion there.
And then who are the other two who come back? Ian McKellen and... Who's the other one you said?
I think it was just Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Okay, well, Ian McKellen gets addicted to opium then.
Yeah, I would want... this film was made a few years ago, and Christopher Lee's in it as well.
Okay.
And those two...
I was going to say, how are we going to get Christopher Lee? But I remember this film's all about time travel anyway. Yeah, so I'm assuming you're building a practical time machine.
These two open a bakery.
Great. Did they go back to the present at the end of the film?
No.
Okay. So it ends like in the middle of a scene. We need to go back. They're like,
one-
we need to get back to
yeah.
the present, and they try to build the time machine to fix it to get back to the present. And then one of them's like, we got it, we got the final part we need, and then Kenneth like punches him out, breaks the part. He's like, no, we're not going back to the present, we're staying here in the past. And then they're like, all right, and then that's the end of the film.
No one
Really
gets.
anticlimactic.
No one gets. There's actually some form of quite cool narrative in this. Yes. Kenneth Branagh actually gets back to the present,
Okay.
but he's so into the character being Shakespeare, he doesn't know who he is anymore. So he's back in the present as Shakespeare, but when he was in the past, he didn't actually do anything Shakespeare did because he doesn't have the knowledge of writing. So in the present, Shakespeare doesn't exist.
Right,
So
because he's gone back to the present.
Yeah, so all literature is just not good anymore because Shakespeare's not there. And then Kenneth Branagh doesn't have a career, and he's Shakespeare, and he just wanders around like a medieval man in modern London. And then it becomes like Enchanted.
Okay. And
So it
then
looks like
when
it's
he
going-
goes back to the...
No,
Does he go back to the past in the end then?
No, it becomes like no. It just looks like there's going to be a sequel, but it's never mentioned again.
Never admit, because it didn't make any money.
No, that's my film.
I'm into it. I think that's the one we go with this week. So as soon as lockdown is over and we've escaped these mooses,
Yeah.
Meese?
It's meant to be mooses, but I think Meese is funnier.
Okay. When we escape the Meese...
Or Mish.
Mish Kumar.
Yeah.
When we escaped Nish Kumar, who's the head of he's the warden of the moose jail. When we've escaped from Nish Kumar's moose prison, then we can start production on You, Me and Judy. As soon as possible. I'll look forward to it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think I just made that up, would you?
I definitely do think you just made it.
It seems like years of writing that film.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think that's about it for this week on Electric Boogaloo.
Whoa!
It's back, and just as weird as it ever was.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Liquid Eagle channel.
Yeah, we've got some sketches and stuff on there, which you should definitely have a look.
More on the way in the future as well.
Yes,
and if you're
100%.
listening to this on iTunes, give us a 5-star review. And
what else is
subscribe
there?
to us on iTunes.
Google Podcasts. I don't know if we could put it on there.
Maybe, I don't know. Whatever you're listening to us on, just give us a good rating. It would be very nice. And we love you.
We do.
We love you.
Stay home, stay safe, eat your greens, love
Wash
Tom
your
Green.
hands.
Don't love Tom Green, that one's a lie. But do everything else.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Yeah. And what are we going to watch next time, Keenan?
Don't know. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, we'll see. I was going to get that started as a bit, but I don't want to give the game away. So I'm not going to start that as a bit.
Can if you want.
No, let's not.
It's funnier. Then
Change your mind.
Yep, there you go. We'll watch a film.
Yep.
Yep.
So, as always, Keenan, why don't you leave us with the famous outro for Electric Boogaloo?
That I definitely remember.
Yeah, that I definitely didn't just make up.
You've got to rock down to Electric Boogaloo. Films are bad.
We'll see you next time.